They told him he had 5 good years left. That was 15 years ago. He's still standing, still speaking, still living. This is Living with Parkinson's, the good, the bad, and the reality. A podcast about what happens when life throws you something incurable, and you fight back anyway. Hosted by Bryce Perry. Diagnosed at 40, 15 years into the battle. This is the truth behind the tremor. Let's begin.
Hey, all right. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here. And if this is your first time joining us, my name is Bryce, and this is Living with Parkinson's, the good, the bad, and the reality. I have a wickedly cool show with you. I have wickedly good. What the heck am I trying to say? I have a great show, great podcast for you to watch or listen to. It's a really special episode, and I have a lot of guests, and this is the first. I'm really nervous. As you can tell, I'm super nervous. I've never had this many guests on before, and they're backstage right now, and they're primed, and they're working on some stuff because stay tuned. This episode is going to blow you away. Have you ever thought about the things that we have to do? So everybody tells us with Parkinson's, we have to exercise, and you hear that. How many times have you heard that? You have to exercise. You got to do this. You got to keep your brain smart. You know what? The only thing is I can't find anything that's fun, or I've been looking for things that are fun to do, things that, and don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing or not jumping on those that love to run and walk. And if you find that fun, that's great. I don't. I don't. So I've been looking for things that A, are good for me and good for my Parkinson's, right? And B, that are fun and kind of are light and not as heavy, because, this life with Parkinson's is heavy. And guess what? I found one, and it's the coolest thing ever. And they're joining us today. And I don't know if you've ever done this before. And I want you to make sure in the comments, as soon as I bring them up and start talking about this, have you ever heard of Improv for Parkinson's? And if you have you ever tried it? Well, today we're going to bring them on. We're going to find out why Improv for Parkinson's is good for people with Parkinson's and their caregivers, maybe, possibly, who knows? Maybe we'll talk them into that. And B, what was B? Why? And we're going to actually play, and we're going to do some demoing, and you can play along at home or, as you're listening or as you're watching. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to start bringing up my guests here. And again, bear with me here. It's, I've never had this many people. So this is really cool. And the first person I'm bringing to the stage is Rosemary Morrison. Rosemary, welcome to the broadcast.
Hi.
And Rosemary's with Improv from Work and Wellness.
Yes.
And there it is. Oh, that's cool. I love the swag. I love that.
Thank you.
I love
Parkinson Canada featured on
Oh
below.
My gosh.
Thanks for having us, Bryce.
Well, my pleasure. Well, let's bring up and your partner in crime here, Dan.
Oh, hello.
Dan, how are you from Improv for Work and Wellness? You guys have the same shirt. That's perfect.
One of us is gonna have to change.
No, I love it. Are you kidding me? I wish I was that coordinated with people, but we're gonna have to do a swag drop, like a swag switch.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, because I got some stuff and we can do that. And guess what? We have another guest join, and I hope I say her last name right, because I only just call her Morgan, but this is Morgan Bucall from Parkinson Canada. Did I get it right, Morgan?
Almost. Morgan Buccal. It's that harsh German last name.
Okay. Well, Buccal sounds a lot better than what I said. So right there. And then the next person we're going to bring up is actually, I don't know if anybody's met. Yeah, you might have met her on the other podcast. My wife, Carmen. Hi, Carmen. How are you?
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Carmen.
Something went like terribly wrong here, because I'm looking at the screen and you're like, my wife's sitting out in the sun somewhere under like a thing, and I'm down in a dungy studio. So I don't know where this thing fell off the rails, but this is going to be a really cool broadcast. And I'll be honest with you, I brought my wife on purpose because we were talking about doing this podcast, and everybody on this, if you're watching, everybody you see, and if you're listening, everybody you're going to hear are really talented. And I'm like you ever watch Sesame Street and they had like that, one of these things just doesn't belong? And that's me. So I literally brought my wife on so I can kind of like hide behind her with this, because improv scares the crap out of me. It's like, it scares me when I've watched improv, I've watched on TV, I've seen it, I've done it. But just the thought of, if someone said to me, okay, Bryce, all of a sudden we're going to start doing improv, it scares me. And I don't know, like Rosemary, Dan, whoever wants to take a swing at this, you ever heard that before? Or is that just me? Is it just a Bryce thing?
No.
We hear it all the time. And what's funny is, Bryce, you're amazing at it. We've just watched you do it for 3 minutes. And it's so great.
No,
Right?
but I'm on the spot though. If you're telling me like, hey, it has to be like this. See, if I can play outside, I color outside the lines, so inside's hard.
We welcome outside the lines. You know what? We improvise every day. And I think people with PD improvise more than the general population because you don't know if your meds are going to be on or off. You don't know how your body's responding today. So you have to adapt to life's curveballs. And the improv skills that we teach help you to do it faster. So I think you're already great at improv. And maybe today our objective is going to be to melt that mental block that is scaring you because you're already a pro.
I love it. I love that because, I'm all about mindset. Like mindset to me is so important, especially in Parkinson's, because you can choose. I feel like, there's this big isolation. One of the things I find and what I love about this program and what you guys do, it breaks that isolation. Like the people with Parkinson's we don't want to go out. We don't want to do things, right? And this is something that A, you can learn a new technique. B, it's fun. It's hilarious. Again, I haven't done it, but I've watched it. And Morgan, how about you? You've done improv before, Morgan?
Yeah, not very good.
Okay, good. So I brought Morgan and my wife on. Well, so I can hide in the weeds. But I think Morgan. So you're with Parkinson Canada, and you guys, we have. You guys. I'm just going to pretend like I don't know you. I'm like, hey. So Morgan is one of my outstanding members of one of my teams, and we met improv. We met Dan and Rosemary a while ago, and we've had a great relationship. And so, from a Parkinson Canada standpoint, Morgan, what do you see people like? I don't know, like just tell me about you from a total outsider perspective. Tell me about improv and what do you see?
Well, honestly, I met Rosemary week 1 of me working at Parkinson Canada.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was flown out to PEI to do a community engagement event. And Rosemary just happened to be there on a family trip. And again, I was just absorbing all the information, didn't know really anyone, the community partners, who the community was in general. And then really from there, even in my role beginning at Parkinson Canada, I wasn't really focused on community partners. I was really focused on the support groups and the community member side. So little did I know Rosemary was going to be this huge part of our daily, my daily work and everything that they do. So everything that I've heard from Improv for Parkinson's and Improv for Work and Wellness has just been positive, from creating communities, empowering people, really just getting rid of that social isolation that is so common. I think really Improv for Parkinson's does all of that. And you feel really good and empowered right after you leave. So honestly, we need more programs like that. And I think too, touched on something important in the beginning where everyone puts that emphasis on exercise. That exercise is the only beneficial thing you can do for Parkinson's, but there's such a uncharted territory when it comes to arts-based programming that is just as beneficial and exciting and empowering to be part of as much as an exercise program is.
It's so true. And Morgan, I didn't even realize that. You're right. It's funny how how things paths cross. And I'll be honest. I was in Newfoundland or no, where were we? We were in Halifax. Yeah. And so my VP called me and she was like, hey, I want you to jump on this call. We're just going to have this quick call with this, this improv group or improv troupe. She called you, like this troupe. Right. And I'm like, what do you mean an improv troupe? She goes, I don't know lots about it, but apparently they were in Barcelona and I'm like, I was in Barcelona. She goes, well, didn't you meet them? I'm like, no, I didn't meet them. And well, apparently, they were storming places to get to perform and stuff. And anyway, they do this thing, and I'm like, oh my god! And in my head, I'm going like, what did you get me into? And so we're in Halifax, and we were walking down the the pier or something. And I'm like, okay, Jack, yeah, I'll take it. Like, I'll take it. Like, I'm going to come on, but like, I'm only going to be on for a couple minutes because, you know, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know what you're even talking about. And it ended up being on, I think we're on for like 45 minutes or an hour. I was just kept walking around because I was so intrigued. Like, from the minute you guys started talking, it just blew me up. My mind was blown. And I remember my wife kept looking at me like, what are you talking? Like, because she could hear me, but she couldn't hear, you know, everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But what she could tell, I was really excited. And so it was so what a weird way to meet. And then now I think that's almost been like 2 years ago, I think, Rosemary, right? Is right?
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
so,
that was 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about improv again and again. It's been a long day already. Anyway. So let's talk about that. Rosemary, what do you see? What are the benefits for somebody with Parkinson's to take improv or to join one of your classes?
Amazing. Yeah. Well, it's so interesting mentioning that fear bit or people coming to improv and they're really unsure. But a lot of people have come to improv for Parkinson's because, like you mentioned at the beginning, Bryce, they're looking for something fun, something where they can connect. And one of the biggest reasons that improv for Parkinson's started was because Dan's husband, John, who's a movement disorder neurologist, was looking for a new way for people with Parkinson's and care partners to cope. So I've been managing the programs for a while, and this spring I've been teaching a level 1 and now level 2 cohort. So there's different
levels. There's different levels.
Oh, there's different levels. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
So I'm in level 2 with them right now, and I'm really seeing the benefits. And I got this really wonderful email from somebody who just wanted to express what the class was doing for that person. And I think one of the biggest things that really stood out to me was what he said about voice. He said the classes were a space where voice was really honored, and there was like the community and support in expressing yourself in all these different ways, having fun with it. But that conversation comes up a lot because folks with Parkinson's are dealing with muted voices, or, you know, they start to withdraw from conversations because they feel like they're not getting across, or if they try and speak, it's being misunderstood. Yeah. And one of my favorite things recently about Improv for Parkinson's is that we've had a lot of fun with that. We've had some sort of like mischievous fun with being misunderstood or being misheard as a way to firstly make sure that people are being heard. And second, just to give participants a little bit more confidence in, if you say something and somebody mishears you, that is just an opportunity for a laugh and another chance to connect. Oh my God, so that's one benefit that comes up for me right away.
I think, you know what, there's a couple of things you said there. Number one is, one of my favorite shows ever was Three's Companies, because there was always a misunderstanding. Like someone misheard something and it turned into this wild, crazy thing. But so I love that part. Man, you said so much. Part two to that is the voice thing. And was making fun of it and going after it. Like, I actually think that, and you saw some of those little clips in the beginning, like I've turned this crappy disease and these crappy little things I deal with, and I just kind of make fun of them. Like, and I feel like if I make fun of it, it takes the power away from it being PD, and it gives it just like like, you know, when you make fun of something, you feel more powerful than it. I think maybe yeah. And so there's part two. That was the second thing I really liked what you said, was because that resonates with me very much. Because again, I feel like why like hide away, like why stop going towards it or away from it, and let's just like pound on it. And I feel like if I could sit in an hour and just like I can make jokes all the time, like I wish I had a baby, because I'd be like giving them the milk, and I'd be like, well, here's their milkshake. Oh no, sorry, I wish I had a baby. A grandchild, how about that? How about a grandchild, honey? A grandchild, okay, that we can just sort of give them that we can just like give them
I'm good with grandbabies, but that's it.
Yeah, okay, sorry, let me back up. Yes, exactly. So the grandchild, that was a big, hard, definite. I tell you what, if we ever had a baby, it'd be a miracle from miracle from miracle. Like there's impossibilities are happening here to be talking about. Anyway, but so I feel like, yeah, I'd say like, but I'd be like, hey, here's your milkshake, like, or whatever, ha ha ha, like, ha ha, like, like little thing like that. Anyway, and Dan, let me ask you this, and then I want to let's try. If you, I don't know, we didn't really plan this out, so okay. And I know you probably
we've got some games up our.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so why don't we do this? So I'm gonna I'll throw it to you, right, and then you could we'll play a game, and then let's come back and talk a little bit about it, and then we'll kind of go back and forth like that, just so that everybody can get a taste of what it's like. And listen, Dan and Rosemary, so if you have, if you're interested in something like this, or you want to know more about them,
stay with us. We'll be right back.
You don't have to do Parkinson's alone. Inside Bryce's inner circle, you'll find more than support. You'll find a private community of people who get it. Monthly Zoom calls, real conversations, direct access to Bryce, and a place where you can post, chat, get support, and support others, and just be real, without judgment. If you're looking for connection, strength, and a space to breathe, this is it. Join Bryce's inner circle today. The link's in the show notes.
all their information is in the description below, with links as well. So make sure you click on the links in the description below. Dan, where do I have to live to go to one of your classes, or how do I get involved in that? Is it in person?
You could live in a tent. As long as you have Wi-Fi and an iPad, you can join. No problem. You can join from anywhere. So the great thing about our classes is that they're just like this. They're virtual. And we started doing that in 2020. It was actually the Parkinson Society of BC who reached out to us and said, we think COVID's going to be around for a little while. March 2020. Could you do something virtual for people who are isolated in their homes? And you know what I said? Like a terrible improviser? No.
No, that's not in the vision.
No, you got to come in person to do improv. It's something that we do together.
Wow.
And they said, will you just try it? Will you just try it out? We really need to reach people who are isolated. We said, okay, so we'll try it. So here we are 5 years later running these Improv for Parkinson's programs virtually, and we pretty much kick one off every 6 weeks. We're reaching people who are far away from us. We're reaching people who can't make it out of their houses. And the great thing is, it's like not that big of a risk. You don't have to get too much courage to join an improv class. You just got to click a link. And you know what? If you don't like it, just shut your computer. We'll go.
Oh yeah,
you'll be out of there.
Bryce, I'm long gone. I'm already in the backyard. I'm in the fetal position in my bedroom. Like that was the worst thing I ever did in my whole life. Like I'd be like gone. Like I wouldn't stand around to hear it. So okay, so now we have viewers, and whatever viewers and listeners and watchers from all over. Can anybody join? Do you have to be from a certain place? Okay, there you go.
We've got folks from all over the world. We made a lot of friends in Barcelona when we were there for the World Congress that have kept in touch with us globally. And then we've got a whole bunch of our American neighbors who join us. And then, of course, people from every province come in and do improv with us. And different levels. We've got people who have had Parkinson's for decades. We have people who are newly diagnosed. And why it works is because, we're coming in with that same kind of feeling of a support group, that everyone has something in common with a common challenge. But instead of talking about what our challenges are, we work on creative pursuits together. We exercise the brain. On our T-shirts here, we've got the little brain with the microphone.
Oh my God,
that's our logo. So we know that physical exercise slows Parkinson's. Yeah. And what we've really tried to do with this Improv for Parkinson's offer is have a social exercise that works the brain. And you'll see in some of these games today, it's not about quick thinking, it's about relaxed thinking. And it's about accepting mistakes. One of our improv mindset pillars is that we welcome mistakes. So we're not trying to get it right. We're not trying to get it fast, or we're not trying to be perfect. We're trying to go at what we call the speed of fun.
Oh, I like that. Speed of fun.
Of fun, right?
Speed
And that
of
might
fun,
be different for every partner that you work with. So you'll see in some of these games that we're going to play today, I've got my emotion wheel.
Oh, man. I'm already scared. That just freaked me out.
You're going to be put on the spot, but your first job is to take a breath, and we will wait until you have an idea to share. And that's the support that this group is going to give, that all of our classes give, because we start off by creating this space to say, you're not here to be funny. You're not here to think quick. You're here to be present and to connect with us. And if you've done that, you've really hit the mark.
So people so they shouldn't have any like, hey, like I have to be funny to go to improv, or I have to I have to have quick wit to go to improv. You just sort of come as you are, and we just do it that way.
Yeah, I was saying to you last time, we used to call this the straight man, but now we call it the neutral, grounded character in a good
very
comedy.
DEI of you.
In a good comedy, you need someone who's that neutral, grounded character.
Right.
Who then is put beside the wild character who's wacky, and it makes it funnier, right?
Because so who's the wacky person here today? Who do you think?
Bryce.
Who said that? Who said? Oh my God! That she didn't even take a breath. No. Like she didn't even. I didn't get to the question. So my Lord! Oh my goodness! Okay, well there you go. Listen, the truth comes out. Sorry, Dan, but that's so. You're right. So it appeals to. You don't have to be the. It doesn't matter, right? Just come and try, and but maybe there are some people. Is it possible? Is it possible that there's some funny people that should actually be straight people, or straight mans. Is that what you call it?
Grounded character, neutral, grounded.
Let's just say off the air. Just like when they're gone. So it's like, but is it possible that there could be people out there that think maybe they don't think they're funny, or they don't think they have that quick wit, but actually come in? Have you ever seen someone come in who goes like, I'm not very funny, but I'm here, and then all of a sudden they find themselves like in the program?
If there's something in this world that makes you laugh, that is a really good indication of your sense of humor. So if you come into the class and instead of thinking, I got to be funny, I got to make other people laugh, come into the class with the attitude, let's see if these people can make me laugh. And then it will uncover your sense of humor. And then once the teachers find out what makes you laugh, then we've got you, because we're like, well, let's do that scene about chicken soup, and this time it's going to be Bryce because he was laughing his head off about that, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I cool. did think that was hilarious. Okay, so now I'm going to
now I know. Well, I'll tell you, this is like round 2, because I'm going to tell you, we did PDIQ in Vancouver last November, and actually all of us, I think, Rosemary, did you come to dinner? You were at dinner afterwards. Yeah, we were all there. So we were all at this dinner, and I'll be honest. So, and that's why I asked my wife to come too, because we're at this dinner, and all like, and there's Dan and Rosemary. That's their home turf. You guys are from Vancouver, British Columbia, right? Or actually out that way, right? Rosemary, I know you're in Calgary, Alberta, but and Dan, you're in Vancouver. But we were having dinner in Vancouver, and there's other people there, like from the, I think you're bored, different people there. Well, they start breaking out in this improv, and they're firing. Everybody's firing things at and my wife's jumping in there, and she's throwing things out, and I'm waiting. I'm like, no one's going to come up that I got. I know I'm going to be able to do this. I know, and I didn't get one. Like I didn't get a. Like I sat there and I'm like, okay, but nothing came my way. So I always wanted to be able to redeem myself, right? And so I think this is it. Right, Morgan? You're with me on that one, right?
I am, because
this is Morgan and Bryce's redemption hour. All right, well, let's do this. Let's show everybody a game. And again, don't forget to make sure you check the link in the description below to get all the information about improv, when their next classes are. And I'm going to challenge you. You know what? If you're kind of going like, I don't know if it's for me, like Dan said, give it a try. Click on join a class. Try it. It's not it's not going to hurt you. What's the worst it's going to do? You might be embarrassed for 1 second, but guess what? You'll never see them again. right? Unless you come back, and then if you do, you're going to start joining community. And I'll tell you what, though, let's do some. Let's just do it. Let's just see let's show people what it's like. And I don't.
Okay.
And by the way, let's back up real quick. We didn't talk about these games. We don't know what's going on, right? We don't know anything. No one gave us answers. I wish they did. I tried. They wouldn't. I tried to bribe them. They wouldn't give me anything. So, all right, let's see. Let's take it away, guys.
Okay.
So we're gonna. Oh yeah, Rosemary's got one. I want to warm us up first, Rosemary.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Wheel, and then you start with this first game because we always like to warm up. So in our classes, we do a bit of an introduction. The classes, by the way, they're in a 6-part series, and then that's it. It's not something you have to join and stick with for a year or anything. It's a 6-part series. You learn the approach of improv. Really, our courses are like communication courses, and we use improv to improve communication. So, it's 6 weeks. Okay, so we warm up. Okay. So I'm going to spin the emotion wheel, and I want you to try first to feel the emotion. And then this is one of the amazing things about virtual meetings. You'll see your face, so show the emotion. And this is great for PD because often the masking stops you from being able to show what you feel. And that disconnects you from who you're with. So this is a chance to get big, to get silly with it, and to start from that internal feeling and then make sure that your face is matching. I used to say to people when I was teaching, if they had a really grumpy face, how do you like the class? And they'd say, I love it. And I would say, tell your face. So here we go. We can call this game Tell Your Face. Okay, tell your face. First emotion that we're going to go with is happy. Happy. So something that makes you feel happy.
Oh, so we're all doing it. This isn't a one person.
Everyone, this is a warm up. Yes. Okay, real though, Bryce.
I'm always happy.
Something that makes you happy, and then what is that?
All right, yeah. Well, this makes me happy. This you guys make me laugh.
Okay, now to awesome. Neutral. Imagine like a blank canvas back to neutral. And this is a very useful tool because we often, if we feel sad, it's like, well, just be happy. That's too much of a switch. But if you know neutral, to say, what's neutral? How can I just wash the emotion away and be a blank canvas? That's easier to change emotion. So we always go back to neutral in the middle. Okay.
That's easy for a person with Parkinson's because that's like normal, right? It's like normal, just normal face.
Weepy. All right. Weepy. Something that makes you weepy.
Morgan, that was really good. That made me. I looked down to see what you were doing, and I was like so good that I started to smile. I was sorry, so I was going to go weepy, but it was like that was so good. Okay, sorry. Let's go. Morgan,
let's see your weepy. Let's see your weepy, boys.
Oh,
good. Okay, back to neutral. Okay, this is like the Jim Carrey in The Mask. Okay, here we go. Back to neutral, and last one now is going to be guilty.
That's my normal look. I don't know what guilty looks like. What does guilty look like? Like,
well, look at us. I don't know. We're trying.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Guilty. Okay, good. And back to blank canvas. Okay. So now we're warmed up because these characters that we're going to play today and that we're going to play with might be in an emotional state. So being able to change your emotion and show your emotion, that's going to be key to creating together. Okay, we're warmed up, and I'll hand it to Rosemary.
Great. Okay. I want us to do one thing. I want everybody to take a deep breath in. And lower your expectations. Okay. We love to start off with that one. Or I love to also say there's no expectation to be funny, only the permission to have fun. So giving that to the group. This is called That Makes Me Think Of. This is one of my all-time favorites of improv because I think it's a great place to start and get our brains going. And I won't say much more on it before I explain. So we're going to go around our sort of circle here. It'll go me, and then Dan, and then Morgan, Carmen, Bryce, back to me.
Perfect.
Every person is going to say one word that the word is making them think of. So it'll kind of go like this. If I start off with a random word, looking around my space, I see lamp. So I'm going to take lamp. And then I would pass that along to the next person. The next person would take lamp and say lamp, the connecting phrase, that makes me think of, and a new word. Lamp, that makes me think of light. So now light is our word. And the next person would take that. Light, that makes me think of dark. And the next person, and so on and so forth. So you use that makes me think of as your connector. You'll take the word that comes before you, just accept it, and then add on to it with a new word that it makes you think of. One key that I will add to this game, if you can't think of anything, that's okay. You can say, I don't know. If you can't even explain why you thought of that thing, doesn't matter. Whatever it is wonderful. So let's just start off. Let's give it a try.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with watch, and we'll go to Dan.
Watch makes me think of being late.
Nice.
Being late makes me think of panic.
Yeah.
Panic makes me think of room.
Room makes me think of a bed.
Bed. Bed makes me think of sleeping.
Sleeping makes me think of a coma.
Oh, no.
A coma makes me think of a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hospital makes me think of Robin Williams.
Mm.
Robin Williams makes me think of Mork.
Mork?
Yeah, Mork and Mindy.
But I was gonna Mork makes me think of Mindy.
Oh, I gave you that one. Okay.
Mindy makes me think of peppermints.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Peppermint makes me think of tea.
Nice.
Tea makes me think of coffee.
Coffee makes me think of my wife.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to pause this quickly.
Oh, because you didn't have an answer for that
We're
one.
going to go up to
Just kidding.
we're going to go up to level 2, where we're going to take out the phrase that makes me think of. So this time it'll just go word, 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 and we'll keep going around like that. So I'll pick up from where you were. You said my wife. I will say, wedding.
Ooh.
Ring.
Ooh.
Telephone.
Oh, switch it up.
Rotary.
Nice.
Speeches.
Ooh, a podium.
Microphone.
PDIQ.
Tired.
Tired. Marathon.
Ooh, triathlon.
Swimming.
Yeah.
The Olympics.
Nice.
Tired.
Can you reuse words?
Yeah. Yes.
Everything makes my wife tired. That's what we're finding out. Tired. Okay, tired. Snoring.
Oh, sleep apnea.
Ooh.
Jose.
My neighbor.
Sorry, Morgan. Did you say neighbor?
Yeah.
Okay. Your neighbor Jose. With sleep apnea.
Too close.
God, I got a good one for that.
Too close.
Too close. Oh, no, that's not good.
Yeah, that could be it.
It could be for comfort.
Yeah,
comfort?
that's fantastic.
Okay.
Amazing. And we'll end it there. Let's give a round of applause. We borrow from American Sign Language because on Zoom, we can have a little light up of our screens.
I like that.
So that was a game called That Makes Me Think Of.
Okay, so what does that do? Okay, that was fun. That wasn't too hard, right?
Fun.
So let Morgan, like, was that okay?
Yeah, no, that was great. Like you're having to recall, but at the same time, there's not that added pressure of like, if I don't come up with something, then I'm gonna look stupid, because really the answers could be anything.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to be funny. Like, to me, when I was coming around, all in my head, I kept saying, I just want to come up with a word, like just a word that makes sense, right? And what was interesting, but like you just said something, that recall, and I think that's such an important thing for people with Parkinson's, to continue to exercise that muscle, that recall muscle. It reminds me, honey, of speech therapy, and where they made me like recall the same sentence every day over and over again. And she said there's 10 phrases that you say every single day, and I had to keep repeating them. And so it was like, good morning, good night, and I got up to like, good morning, good night, I love you. And then I'm like, oh, I know what I say. I don't know what I want for dinner. Like, it was like, because I said it every single day. But so I think that recall is so important. So that's a really cool thing for people with Parkinson's to like. That's an awesome thing. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, let's try another one. Let's do another one. Oh, yeah. Dan, go ahead.
I just want to point out what's happening too in that game. You can't plan. So you think about anxiety. You think about worry, right? What is anxiety? It's worrying about the future. So in this game, you could spend 3 people's answers trying to plan what you're going to say. Oh, I'm going to say duck, and then I'm going to say car tire. But it won't actually resonate with what the person has given you. So you have to choose to enjoy listening to the way that it has morphed, those 3 people after you, and then be present for whatever the person gives you. And so how we can apply that to life is that you can spend your whole day worrying about when your medication is going to wear off, or you can start to develop the confidence to say, I can enjoy this on period right now. And I know that when I go off, I got this. I'll deal with that when I cross that bridge. We spend so much of our life anticipating and in anxiety for the future. And this game is one of those examples of, the moment is here for you to enjoy. And you can choose to enjoy and trust that when I get that word from Rosemary, something else is going to come into my mind. Yeah. And that actually causes the humor, right? So this is a game that we introduced early on to invite people to be present, invite people to enjoy the moment, and trust that you don't have to plan, you don't have to anticipate as much about the future. You can trust yourself to respond.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
I always say, wherever you are, be there, right? And so this keeps you right in that zone.
I love that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready for another one, because I feel like I did good on that one, and I don't want my confidence to wane here.
Okay, here's one that we invented in the pandemic because we were all on Zoom. This one is called Zoom Magic. So we're going to give gifts to each other that are going to transform through the magic of the internet. So I might start out here with this little lip balm, right? And so I'm going to say, Rosemary, I got you this lip balm. And as I bring it to my camera, she will put her gift that's from her space up to her camera, and it will morph, right? And then she'll say, oh, thank you for this. Okay. So start with this lip balm, and I'll say, Rosemary, I got you something, but it will change. Oh, Rosemary, I got you something.
Oh my gosh. Dan, wow. Thank you. A spool of thread.
Well, I got you that. I got you that, Rosemary, because you hold everything together. Just like friends. So I thought that would be good for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So the person receiving takes their gift, and then it's the justification piece. I just want to shout that out. So Dan then has to explain exactly
why you're giving that gift to you.
Yeah. So Morgan, here, I actually I have something else for you here. Something. There you go.
Oh wow.
Oh, look at all that fun stuff.
Look at this. I have some questions.
Yes. Morgan, we were having that conversation about local unsolved mysteries and how you wanted to have a board with all the clues and the red string. And I thought thumbtacks are really the first step for that.
so helpful. I moved to this new place and really needed some new push pins.
Perfect.
Awesome. Actually, Bryce,
Uh-oh.
here, I have a gift for you.
So,
This is great.
so she's okay. So, well, thank you for that toilet paper.
Why do you have toilet paper right there?
I know Morgan just gave it to me. I'm not sure why she gave me toilet paper.
No,
Oh my God.
I just thought it might be helpful to wipe up all the shit that comes out of your mouth sometimes.
Oh my God, that was so good.
Okay.
Oh, that was beautiful.
So
I just thought
good.
that was fun. Okay, so now do I get? So now I'm
You
giving
give
it.
to Carmen, yeah.
I got to give her what I got.
Yep, and then it will morph. It'll morph.
Oh, okay, all right. So Carmen,
Open
I'm
up.
going to give you this toilet paper, or I'm going to give this to you.
And it turns into...
Oh, thank you. A scrunchie.
Ooh.
Oh, a scrunchie. I gave that to you because I love when your hair is tied up. No, let me back up. I gave you that scrunchie because you have such beautiful hair, and sometimes I like it in a ponytail.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you, honey.
That was a hard one. My brain was going somewhere else, and then I pulled it back.
Got to keep it PG, baby.
Well, Morgan got me fired up with the swear words, so I was excited.
Okay.
Oh, that's so good.
So Dan, I got you.
Okay.
This.
Oh.
Oh.
So Dan, I got you a battery because I remember you saying that sometimes you run out of batteries for all your toys and knickknacks, etc. So I thought, you could reuse or use a battery.
Right in there. Great.
That's perfect. Very nice.
Keep it charged. Great.
Very nice.
So you just pulled that out of the air.
Love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, I won't be able to type for a while now until I
They're gonna put the battery back.
put it back in my keyboard. Okay, so this is a fun game because first of all, we get to be creative with what we have. So how often with PD do you got to work with what you have, right? So it's like whatever was in reach, you have to use. So number one, resourcefulness, and then number two, you had to justify what happened. I didn't know what Rosemary was going to pull out of her space there. But I had to make believe like I had given it to her and give a justification for that. And everyone did so well justifying why they had given this mystery gift.
Yes.
That is so cool. And I think, and it's something, it's simple. When you explain it, it's simple, and to be honest with you, I was looking around because I was like, oh my gosh, so, okay, we have to find something. And I'm like, well, what's funny? Like I kept thinking, what's funny about it? But I think that it doesn't matter. It didn't really matter what we gave, did it?
No, because sometimes the justification will just keep the game going and it will be really sweet. Like, you said to Carmen, I like when your hair is tied back. That's why I give you that scrunchie. And it was like, that was a great one. And then sometimes Morgan's like, that toilet paper is to wipe out all the shit that comes from your
It's like, Morgan, she just went for it. Did you see it? Like she got excited. She's like, oh my God, I'm just going to hammer this one down. And but I think that's really cool. And I think that the boundaries of what we're in, it lends to just let things go, right? Like, and just like, and I think, so the thing I really like about this is that you can't prepare, like you said. I mean, here's the one thing I hate about it is you can't prepare. Right. But now that we're into it, I'm really glad that you couldn't compare. And we're all on the same level because we all had to do this, come up with something, and we didn't know what was going to be around the corner.
And even when you prepare, things rarely go as planned, right?
Yes,
you have
so
to
true.
amend your preparation. Your preparation serves you to be agile.
Yeah.
And so this comes to our second mindset. We said the first one was embrace mistakes. We welcome mistakes. Yeah. This one is seek positivity. right? You don't know what that person is going to pull out of their space, but then you say why you gave it to them. And so what you're doing is seeking positivity. Life is full of these unexpected things. Things don't go
normally, unless you talk shit all the time. Then that was a little bit not positive. But you're right, and you had to pivot onto that side. And I think, like, I was actually really excited. Like, it was really neat because I felt like I got to hear somebody was going to say something about me, like to me, like it was. I don't know. It was just weird. It was weird. It was weirdly cool. But I wouldn't ever think if someone explained that to me over the phone and said, okay, here's what I'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. But when you're doing it and seeing it, and I think seeing what, and maybe in the comments, if you've never seen improv or heard of improv before, or maybe you've heard of it, but you haven't seen it at this level, how did that make you? It was simple. I can't even explain it, but it was cool. And and I'm already feeling better. I was really, really tired today. Like, we had a very long week. I was traveling all week and I've been so tired. And I was like, I'm exhausted. Like, my body's exhausted. My brain's exhausted. I've talked so much. And yet I'm feeling like I want more. I'm excited. Like, I'm like, what's next? Like, is there, like, it's like so cool. It's really neat. I love that.
I think that's one of the biggest benefits of the class as well, is just that boost of wellness, that like mood change. I taught a workshop last week for a smaller group who have been through our Improv for Parkinson's program. And one of the people joined the program and was like, I'm really frustrated with life right now. There are some things happening that I'm feeling super frustrated about. But I know, because I know how improv class makes me feel, I knew that all I had to do was show up. Yeah. And by the end of the class, she had a smile on her face. We were all laughing, or people who are really having a hard time with what I often see is people having a really frustrating time dealing with all of the different appointments and everything that comes with having Parkinson's, and the frustration that comes out of that and the exhaustion that comes out of that. But what people will say to me is, I kept this in my schedule as much as I can. Sometimes you have to go to the appointment. Sometimes you can schedule around it. But people show up because they're like, I know what this does for me. I know how it's going to make me feel. And it's so consistent too. Even sometimes as a teacher, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh no, I got to teach class. And as soon as I see them, even through Zoom, I feel so connected. We have such a laugh together, and the rest of my day is so much better than had I not had a class at the start.
I think if I saw that in my calendar, and it's one of those things that'd be the one I'd be looking forward to. Like, through the week, I could look at all the other appointments I have and go like, oh, at least that one, And I'm thinking too, you guys are building community, Morgan. I mean, I'll ask you this about too. Like, let's talk about community in Parkinson's, right? And at Parkinson Canada, that's something that. What's your role again? What do you call it? Community partnerships. Community partnerships. So partnerships is huge, right? But the community is massive, and I think I don't know. Speak to the community side and what you see, improv doing in that realm.
I mean, Rosemary and Dan, I know best. It's breaking.
I know. That's why I'm asking you, though.
Breaking that wall to really step out of your comfort zone and join something that maybe you once loved and you kind of stepped away from it because of a diagnosis or even just loss of community. It's huge to join something that's bigger than just yourself and contribute to a group mission. That's community, right? Participating in things that you all have something in common. I mean, that's community in itself. And I think it's so easy to see the benefits of being part of a community, but then you also see, as soon as you withdraw, you see those implications that not having a community really has. So it's huge. And community could be anything. It could be your neighborhood. It could be your improv group that you're a part of. It could be an online community. I think the community looks different for everyone, but just finding where you kind of fit in, I think is huge. And it's scary. It is really scary.
Yeah,
I think being exposed to situations like this, even just watching a YouTube video or a stream about something you're interested in, it's something just to get out of your bubble a little bit. And I think even too with Parkinson's, it's a very unique a unique disease, right? It's different for everyone. It's different at every stage of the journey. And I think stepping out and kind of coming out to the community and saying you have Parkinson's, that's daunting in itself. So I think finding these community groups and programs is huge in kind of mitigating that social isolation. Wow, I was struggling with the words.
You're catching my disease. That's mine.
Isolation. And really finding something that is bigger than yourself, because it matters. It really does. Having people that you can connect with, and even from a care partner point of view, having a group of other care partners that relate to your circumstances and the things that you're going through, it's huge. It matters just as much as the person living with Parkinson's.
That's so true. Carmen, I don't know, like, I'm sure she would tell you if she, well, she's right here actually, but she's on mute. But like, she would say, "Yeah, that'd be great." But Bryce is different than everybody else. Probably, I'm probably that person. But there is something to be said. For example, like in this PDIQ, for example, something wild happens when you have people that are like you. Okay, maybe again, we're all different. Everybody has different swells. And Carmen, I'm going to ask you about this as well, because like, for example, at PDIQ, we were booked out this weekend. We were in Montreal, Quebec, full house. You couldn't move. And it was just full of people just like me, right? People with PD and care partners. And do you think that's important, Carmen?
Yeah. I think as unique as all of you are, the similarities are all there as well. So your experiences are very similar in different ways, if that makes sense. So when you do your little shorts and you talk about struggling to put your shoes on or struggling to put your socks on, all of you with PD, I think at some point in time, if you will have that same issue, if you don't have it already. But just how, or the why for you might be different. Is it stiffness or is it tremors? Or, there's all these variations of that same problem that all of you would have, but it's the same problem. So it unites you in it. Being in a format like that unites all of you, and you feel safe in a space to be who you want to be. And that was one thing that, I mean, I'll you might talk about it, but you've mentioned it a couple of times when we were in Barcelona. I think that was enlightening for you, because you went to the World Congress, and it was probably one of the first times that you'd ever been in a space where a lot of the people there, a percentage, I don't know, had PD. And I think it was a moment for you where you realized, okay, this is a safe space for all people with PD. And I think that's what PDIQ also provides. It's like a safe space for all of you and care partners and everyone that works there or is working there, the volunteers, they all understand it. So I think that's the uniqueness of that. And I think it's important. I think that there's strength in numbers, solidarity in your fight of the disease, right? Yeah. That we, from a care partner or working from Parkinson's or being on Improv, we can't experience that. It's only for you.
Well, there's a stigma to it too, right? Like you're always, and we try to hide. We try to, if you look, everybody, you hold your hands. You're trying to, because wherever you are, you're thinking, okay, they're going to look at me, they're going to stare at me, whatever it might be. But you're right, to your point, in Barcelona, I was blown away. I was in this auditorium and there was like people ripping around with these, they were walking crazy, and no one was hiding their symptoms. And it was like this free space where, you could just be you, and it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. And I think that's what you guys are creating in your groups. And with the Improv, I see that community. Like you're building these you're building people, but you're building a community. And I feel like, if people would take a chance, right? People like who maybe are like me, you're going like, I don't know, but they take this chance. You find more than just like, you're not going there to become a comedian, right? You're going there to just to maybe take a light off for an hour and maybe take it easy. But I think are they becoming friends in these groups? Like, there's a community you see?
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just got invited to a barbecue.
I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. So we're going to a barbecue with 3 of our original group members. And people tell us stories all the time about getting together. People have gotten together in New York who have taken the course together. And so we're about to go to a barbecue. And, 3 of the performers are actually John's patients, my husband's patients. And so I said, yeah, are you going to come to this barbecue? He goes, I don't know. It's kind of awkward. They're my patients. And I said, yeah, but they're the troop members. They've become friends. And so he goes, okay, I'll go.
It's like running into. Did you ever have you run into your teacher when you're like in school and you run into your teacher and it feels awkward? I bet you it's the same kind of feeling. It's weird to run into your teacher at Walmart. I don't know.
I was sitting beside your husband when we were out for dinner, and we were talking about something, and all of a sudden I heard this like blah 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 race car, NASCAR, blah, blah, and someone yelling at the waitress, and I go, what's and he reached over, he says, oh my God, here they go. You can't go any. You get these people together, and you just can't go anywhere. Just want to have supper, whatever. They're having dinner, and then it was so funny. But he was saying it like it was fun, but he goes, oh boy, and I said, oh, he said, this is going to go on all night now.
Yeah,
he was right. He was right.
So funny.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that's also how sorry, Morgan, that's how I was in PEI and came to the PDIQ, is because one of our troop members so we have level 1, we have level 2, and then there's the PD performance troop who basically got bit by the improv bug and didn't want to stop. So they practice with a coach and do performances, but one of them was in PEI. So we met up and we were chatting with Parkinson Canada. So I actually went with her. And then that's how I was there as well. And then ran into Morgan.
Yeah. I think that's the power of community, though. I think that, like Carmen, even Bryce and Rosemary, you just touched on something so important too, where that's community in itself. It's building these safe spaces for people to show up authentically, no matter what time of day it is, what their symptoms might look like in that moment, and really just rally around them and create this tight bond of like trust, empowerment, and just, again, that's community. And I think that's a huge part of what my job is finding these awesome programs like Improv for Parkinson's and building on to those programs and making sure that people know that these things are accessible and they're out there. And there's people that are going through something exactly like you. So like take a chance, step out of your comfort zone, and you might find something you're going to a barbecue.
And when you go to the barbecue, what are you taking on the barbecue? No, I'm just kidding. I was like, what do you take with you? I'm already learning that. I was like, but okay, so that's so powerful because again, and you're listening or watching, whether you're newly diagnosed or whether you're, midway through this journey or 15 years into it like me or longer, there's always, because we never know, right? We never know day to day or what's coming around the corner and what's going to affect us or what's going to happen next. I think from the minute you're diagnosed, you're in this really weird zone of looking for answers and trying to, what's going to make me feel better and what's going to prolong this, and having to come up with these like crazy, things that you crazily have to think about, like, thinking about getting your brain, your head, I call it the Frankenstein thing, and it's on my brain right now because I came up again on the waiting list, and it was like, and we were sitting in the doctor last week, went to the doctor, and he's like, okay, and I'm like, no, not ready yet, and I'm like, this is the third time now. Like, this is about a 3-year waiting list, so I've gone on it 3 times now, and I know my luck's running out. I know one of these times I'm going to have to be like, oh my God, and I had a conversation in Toronto with. It was funny because I had a conversation. He was like, he had DBS and he was just loving it. He's like telling me how great it was, and I said, I don't know if I'm just a big chicken or I'm just waiting for like the technology to get better. I'm not there yet. And I told him I was a big chicken, right? And he said, yeah, well, it's not that bad, and he showed 89 staples and could feel the scalp being pulled back, and I'm just literally passing out at the table, like just like. And I said, that's probably not working for me. But anyway, we have all these huge decisions, these massive in our minds, these life-changing decisions. And then again, like you said, where we don't do this, do exercise. And I live my life, what I call in a 3-hour cycle. I'm every 3 hours taking my meds, like down to the point you said earlier. And yeah, any escape from reality that we could literally do that's just kind of fun, but yet has benefits. Like the benefit side of me blows my mind because, to be honest with you guys, I'll be honest. If there was no benefit to Park, I would still be the biggest advocate because I still think you need to be able to have a moment to just get out of the seriousness of it and just be yourself. But the benefit side, the memory recall, the community and getting out of isolation and having like even speech therapy, like again, repeating things and speaking out loud and just, oh my God, it's amazing. I'm such a fan. I think about myself walking the thing going, oh my gosh, who are these people I have to talk to and what? And I'm thinking in my head, like I saw, you know what I saw in my head? You know, those jesters, like improv, like, you know, I'm like, I'm going to be talking to these like people, these jesters. I want to talk about like, come up with some improv thing. And so it's like, I'm just such a fan of what you guys do. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Do we have another game or no? Or is that it? Like, or...
Oh yeah, I want to spend our last game making fun of Parkinsons, because I think part of taking the power back is like laughing at our situation and taking the power back, right? So we'll start out with just a game that gets us going on what we know about a topic or an occupation. So I'm going to say an occupation, and anyone can say yes and just say something we know about that. Something we know about that occupation. So this is someone, and I've got this app called the suggestion app. Okay. So it's occupation is human resources. So what do we know about human resources? So I'll say yes, and they deal with complaints.
Yes, and they're often short name to HR.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and they are usually the union's nemesis.
Yes, and they take care of the hiring process.
Yes, and they also take care of sexual harassment complaints.
Okay, perfect. So these are all things that we know about, HR. I'm going to give us another profession now, and I want us to do that same exercise in our brains around what do we know about it. But this time we're going to layer on what that might have in common with Parkinson's disease, right? So taking Bryce's, it might be like Parkinson's disease is like HR. There's a lot of sexual complaints.
I love it. Okay. HR, I wish I could have, when you said that, I'm like, you're so good at this. Like, it was so brilliant. All right. And you know what?
You did that one, right? Your brain is doing two things. One is coming up with what you know about that profession.
Yeah.
And then we're going to match it with anything we know about Parkinson's disease. So
I love that.
So maybe tremor, maybe pills, maybe constipation, maybe frustration, whatever. And then that's going to be how we make fun of PD today.
I love it. And if you're watching or listening, play along in the comments. Just play along. Like, throw one in there because I want to read them. These are so funny. Okay. All right.
Okay. Here's the occupation. And the joke formula is Parkinson's is like. So Parkinson's is like a travel guide. Parkinson's is like a travel guide. I'll start off. Parkinson's is like a travel guide because you're going to go to places that you didn't expect.
Good one. Oh, we keep going. So we keep thinking of one.
Now we can riff on travel guide. Yeah. Tour guide.
Parkinson's is like a travel guide. Suddenly you're on a journey with a whole bunch of new people.
Holy mackerel, you guys. Those are so good. Okay. It's okay.
Parkinson's is like a travel guide because every trip never is in a straight line.
Yeah.
Okay. Parkinson's is like a travel guide. Yeah. It's like I thought I had one really good, and I just wouldn't formulate in my head.
That's okay.
Okay, can we try a different one? No, Morgan, do you have one, Morgan?
Parkinson's is like a travel guide because sometimes the coordination doesn't go to plan.
Very good.
All right. I think I know this one. Okay, so the Parkinson's is like a travel guide because... No, see, I can't pull this one together. You know what I wanted to say? When I think of travel guide, I'm thinking of like the person in the bus, like giving me a tour. I'm thinking of a tour guide. I think that's the problem. It's like a tour guide. Is it kind of like a tour guide? So it's like a tour guide because Yeah, so I don't know. See, I can't come up with one.
What's the idea that you're working with? We'll help you out.
Well, I'm thinking like, okay, so the tour guide is giving you, telling you all the highlights, right, and telling you what's coming, but that's not like Parkinson's because you don't know what the hell's going to happen. So that doesn't make sense.
There you go. Parkinson's is Parkinson's is the opposite of a travel guide.
I know, so I can do opposite.
And this is where the beauty is, where you can break the rules, because we have so many rules to follow. Okay. And my God, people with PD have so many instructions to follow. And part of the joy of improv is that we love to break the rules. We love to break the games. So if you go, Parkinson's is not like a tour guide because you never know what the hell is happening.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So I'm allowed to do that.
Totally.
Okay, let's do another one. I'm ready.
All right.
Here we go. So Parkinson's is like a mechanic.
Ooh.
Parkinson's is like a mechanic.
Parkinson's is like a mechanic because you never know where the tool's going to go.
Parkinson's is like a mechanic because you're going to spend the rest of your life in a body shop.
Oh my God, you guys are so good at this. Oh my God.
Parkinson's is like a mechanic because sometimes you have to call the mechanic to put the wheel back on the car. It's a thinker.
Parkinson's is like a mechanic because as the mechanic has to oil up and lube his wheels and tools, so does a person with Parkinson's.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
I could have said it funnier, but
it's perfect as is.
Parkinson's is like a mechanic because you're going to be investigating a lot of strange noises.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's true. That's a good one.
Parkinson's is like a mechanic because the final bill is never what the estimate said.
Oh, nice.
What the heck?
That's awesome.
That was really good. I was going to say Parkinson's is like a mechanic because they rip you off.
Hey!
Nice. Yes.
I like that.
Nice. Amazing.
Parkinson's is like a mechanic. You're totally filthy, but you have no idea what caused it.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Okay, one more. Let's get another.
Let's try another one. That's good.
Okay, we'll get one more occupation here. Okay, here we go.
Play along. Put it in the comments. There's so many out there.
A locksmith.
Oh shit.
Locksmith.
Ooh,
Parkinson's is like a
locksmith. Parkinson's is like a locksmith who's kind of gone off the rails. The code to the door seems to keep changing. Every day there's a new password to get in.
That was good. Parkinson's is like a locksmith because it's always Parkinson's is not like a locksmith because they're always stuck. What's this?
Yes.
The lock's stuck, right? So help me. Okay, help me with 1 second.
Okay.
How would I put that together? I want to say here's what I'm thinking to myself. The locksmith unlocks like stuck doors, right? And a person with Parkinson's is stuck all the time. So how would I someone help me throw that together into a line just for my brain?
So how could you word that, right? So
what would I say to make it funny?
Like a locksmith. You're always getting called to get things moving, or you can't turn the key.
Oh, yeah.
So this is where it's like that yes and thing around. What do locksmiths do? Well, they open lock doors. They can fit a key. They can pick a lock. They come at night. Maybe there's a joke about that 24 hours. Maybe there's a joke about how expensive they are. Maybe there's a joke about.
Is locksmith a hard one?
Well, this is the beauty of this game. We can take any suggestion. It doesn't even have to be a profession. We could take a store or an object. And this is where the game is exercising that muscle in our minds to find an alternate path or an alternate word. And one of our teachers, so in every class, we've got someone from the Parkinson's troupe helping to teach the class. And one of the teachers' name is Peter, and he calls this neuroplasticity. He says what's his challenges in Parkinson's is word search, because he was a lawyer and he's got this amazing vocabulary. He says, why use a 5-cent word when you can have a 25-cent word? But one of his frustrations is he doesn't remember all these amazing words that he knows.
Yes.
And what improv has helped him to do is say, I can't think of that word. What's an alternate? How could I say this in a different way? So this game is actually helping us do that.
See, I struggle with that. That's a big one for me. And, I oftentimes, and I used to think, oh my God, how am I going to edit these podcasts? I'm in the middle of a podcast. And I'm like, I forget the podcast name sometimes. It's just, and I know what it is. Yeah. It's stupid, but I just let it go because it's real, right? It's like, hey, this happens and it's okay. It's not going to not harm you. So sorry, I totally derailed that last part. Did anybody else have a locksmith one or can we pivot to something better? Can you give us an easier one?
An easier one, sure.
Like I want to get one. But I can't.
Like there's something.
Okay, let's do a different one. How about we do a location this time?
Great.
So
yeah.
Parkinson's is like a racetrack. Parkinson's is like a racetrack. How is
Parkinson's is like a racetrack? I'm cheering from the sidelines.
That's good.
Thank you.
Parkinson's is like a racetrack where your pit crew is always on coffee break.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
Parkinson's is like a racetrack because I never remember how many laps I've done.
Yes.
Okay.
Parkinson's is like a racetrack because there may be unexplained skid marks.
That was mine. I just had that. I was going to say, oh my God, Dan stole it. Now I got to pivot in my own pivot. I was going to say, I thought I was so brilliant. I was going to say, it has skid marks just like my legs. Okay, good. I love it. That was awesome. You stole it. Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. Keep going. Come on, guys. You guys got to throw some more out there because there's a lot here, right? There's got to be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Parkinson's is like driving on a racetrack with 4 flat tires.
Oh yeah.
Wow, Morgan is getting really good at this game.
Yeah.
That was good.
Parkinson's is like a racetrack. Feels like going around in circles.
Dan?
It's still yours again?
Oh man. Okay. Yes, that's what I was going to around and around and around. Okay. All right.
Around.
Okay. Let's keep going. We're going to go till Adele till I get one. And,
yes, we will. Yes, we will.
But everybody has to keep moving it. It has to keep going.
Racetrack.
Parkinson's is like a racetrack where the driver forgot to put a seatbelt on.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
Nice. Parkinson's is like a racetrack. You're driving around and you're thinking, was there a prize involved in this?
Oh my God, that's so funny. Oh my God. That is so good.
Parkinson's is like a racetrack. There may be a crash involved.
There may be.
There may be. There could be a fiery crash involved. That is good.
Bryce takes mine and makes them better.
Oh my God.
So good.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. Parkinson's is like a racetrack, so because I'm waiting for my wife to have a good one. You got one yet, Meg?
No, you want to go because I have one.
No, you go. I'm gonna have a really good one. I'm gonna have a good one coming up.
Where they forget to put gas. Parkinson's is like a racetrack where they forgot to put gas in the car.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've got one. Parkinson's is like a racetrack. Doping is allowed.
Oh, I love that.
Rosemary, that was really good.
Thank you.
That was really good.
But I gotta say, when it comes to these sort of joke games, as an improviser myself, Dan and I perform in Vancouver. The joke game was one of the scariest things when I started doing improv. And you get to the good ones by going through the bad ones. Sometimes I will stand up at the mic and work through a joke for like 3 minutes. And I'm standing, or when I end them and I'm like, that one was a thinker. It's because the joke wasn't good, and I just gotta walk away and wait for the next one. Yeah. And that's part of it too. You just kind of have fun in risking it being a bad joke. It doesn't matter, we're all having fun with it together.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? When I get up in the morning sometimes, and it's really funny because my day-to-days are different. So some mornings I can't even get out of bed. But if I have to like go to the restroom, I mean, I fly. So Parkinson's is like a racetrack because it's all gas and no brakes.
Yes. Boom.
It's like bumper cars. Boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
My God.
This
Hey?
is for you, Bryce. This is for you.
All right. Oh, look at that. I love it. Oh, come on. I got the race car. I was trying to come up with one with like the girls that come out and just wave the flags. I had but I just couldn't relate that to Parkinson's at all. That was just to my.
Oh, I got one for that. Parkinson's is like the racetrack where the checkered flag is waving, but you're still stuck tying your shoes.
Okay. Oh my God, you guys, this is amazing. This is so much fun. I don't know why wouldn't every person with Parkinson's, without Parkinson's, do this? I mean, it's a great, I could imagine this would be good for caregivers too, just to kind of get some, is there any thoughts of you? Do you have classes for other people other than just people with Parkinson's?
Yeah, we do. So in our Parkinson's classes, care partners are certainly welcome, but we're working towards having a care partners group because we've heard the need and we want to respond to it.
That's a great idea.
And then as Improv for Wellness, we also offer classes. We run a brain health class with the BC Brain Wellness Program, which is a whole mix of folks. Some are living with chronic brain injuries or varying mental illnesses or neurodivergencies. We also have run programs for people who stutter. We've also run programs for people with Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. A couple months ago, I did one where the group was experiencing different levels of expressive and receptive aphasia because they were all recovering from strokes. We also, on the other side of Improv for Work and Wellness, do team builders and communication courses. So, yeah, we're trying to bring improv to a whole different groups of people and cater towards them because improv is so adaptive. And there are, you can teach similar games in different ways or talk about it in different ways and really bring out the benefits for that specific community. So, yeah.
Did you say at the beginning, so do you have people with Parkinson's and their partners come together?
Yeah, we do often have care partners come in. In the class that I'm teaching right now, we have a pair of a person with Parkinson's and their partner and also care partner.
Really? Does the partner, because the partner knows that the person with Parkinson's has a progressive, non-curable brain disorder, do they let them win sometimes, do you think? Like do better than them?
He's going down the path. So when I look at him and say, honey, can you please take out the garbage today? And then the day goes by and it hasn't been taken out. And I'll say, dear, you forgot to take the garbage out. He'll turn to me, hand to God, and will say, honey, I don't know if you know, but I have this progressive incurable neurological disorder.
That sometimes affects my memory.
Can you freaking believe the guy? He does that to me. Honestly.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So that's where he was going with this.
Yeah, but she did it back to me. Yeah, coming back from Montreal or wherever heck we were.
Yeah.
I don't remember what you said. I don't know, but I said, you can't use that. It's mine. You said, do you know I'm married to somebody who has a I'm like, you can't use that. That's mine.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Parkinson's with Bryce is like a racetrack. All the trash bins are full at the end of the event.
Yes.
Boom.
I love it.
Amazing.
I love that. Oh my God. You know what? This has been so much fun. I'll tell you, I'd like to not leave things, but again, if you want to find out more, we're going to have all this stuff in the description below. I implore you to click on that. I mean, there's courses and classes starting, these level 1s, 2, 3s. People check it out. What do you have to lose? It could be fun. It should be fun. This was fun. And this is coming from someone who was really nervous about today. Like, there is no way, I'm like, Morgan, Carmen, everybody, come, because I'm not going on with these two people, Dan and Rosemary, and I'm gonna just look they'll be like, oh, it's like a racetrack, blah blah blah, and handing me pen, and I'll be like, right, and I was looking for support, but I mean, you guys were amazing at this, unbelievable, but I want everybody just one last thing, like a final thought or statement, something that you want to say, something we didn't bring up, or something that you want people to know. Rosemary, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, well, the first thing I want to say is that on the note of there's nothing to lose, our classes are all free thanks to the support of Parkinson Canada, who have been incredible supporters of the program. And recently in the last year, we applied for the Care Fund, as you know, and the Care Fund has been helping us reach folks across Canada and beyond. So if you're out there and you're like, oh, I don't know, and maybe it'll cost, it's also free. Thank you, Parkinson Canada.
Amazing. So just when you sign up, just say Bryce sent you, and then it's free. That's what we said. No, it's okay. So it's
exactly.
Good. But no, that's awesome.
Yes, and I want to say that for people who are unsure about improv, they can always talk to us too. I'm the manager of the programs, and a lot of times during registration, sometimes people will just send me an email and they're like, what is improv? I'm so scared of this. I don't know what it is. And I am more than willing to chat with you about it and, talk through it and see if I can get you into the classes.
There you go. Rosemary's been trying for 2.5 years with me now, and we're close, right?
We're close. So close. I said Bryce is the final boss, so I need to get into improv for Parkinson's.
Like the final level, the final boss to beat.
So if you're listening to the podcast, please put in the comments, Bryce, you need to take improv.
No.
I'm getting the community together to peer pressure you.
Oh my God. I need to have those buttons, where where it takes you out just for a second, go off the air just for a second.
Yes.
That's awesome. Rosemary, I really like you. I think
I really like you.
I really like you. And I forgot the last time we had a meeting, we were talking and you went, I was thinking in my head, oh, Rosemary's doing this from home because her mother just came over and said something to her. But I think you were in a coffee shop and so you were too loud.
I was. It's a coffee shop that I always go to and I always take meetings, and the owner is a good friend of mine. Somebody else was there without headphones and complained. So
oh no, well, that's terrible.
Rotten. Whatever. We embrace mistakes. Meeting.
I love that. I love it. I love it. Dan.
I would leave people with the thought that improv is about teamwork, and teamwork means that you're not alone. So your care partner, your caregivers, they're part of your team, and you can become a better team player for the team that is helping you function with PD. And so when we get into this spontaneous creation, the skills that it takes, listening, spontaneity, teamwork, being present, these are all teamwork skills. So you can become a better team member, and you can help the members of your team and join the new team that's going to take the class together with you. It's all about teamwork. We're in it together.
Love that. I love it. How about you, Morgan?
I'm just here now. I'm just kidding.
You're just here for the ride. You're still thinking of the ones for the racetrack. Yeah. Your brain's still going. I am too. I wanted to end with the podcast with a real zinger, and I'm trying my best to come up with just like I do it all the time.
No, I think I would say is just take a chance. You'll never know what you can find out there in terms of community and just making friends that are living like you and have similar interests to you. I mean, we've come across so many people who have said thank you for the programs that we've provided and partnered with. So again, you have nothing to lose. If you hate it at the end of the day, just shut your computer. So that's my encouragement. It's just take a chance, step out of your comfort zone. You never know what you might like.
That's nice. Carmen?
Me too.
Well, you're on the podcast.
I think that first of all, improv is my all-time favorite thing. So I was rooting for you from day one. I've always said it's amazing, and you're my heroes, and I love it.
She cries every time. Every time I watch editing videos and you're doing the Care Fund videos, she's just bawling all the time.
I was very happy when you guys got it. So I was like, yeah. So I'm your biggest fan, and I think that I hope that Bryce is encouraged to go and do it because again, it's part of the community, but it gets your brain going. And I've always said to Bryce, I mean, I want him to do things that gets his brain going. So doing these podcasts are really good for him. And I tried to show him Sudoku. And then once he gets expert at it, he doesn't want to do it anymore because it's like, So, but I want to stimulate him and I want him. And I think everybody that with PD needs that something. And they should reach out to, if they don't reach out to Parkinson Canada, certainly reach out to you guys and do the improv. So that's what I would say.
I love it. Well, thank you. Thanks everybody for being on today. This is really fun. It's really cool. In this podcast, I'm usually by myself and it's lonely and boring and down in my studio. And I'm just teasing, but it was so much fun. I love what you guys do. I love that, that we're associated, with you guys. And, I'll challenge my wife and Morgan because I think the three of us are always saying, you're your biggest fans. So we're all your biggest fans. So because we just, we love what you guys are doing. We love the feedback we get from people that have gone through and are, have gone through the program and what they're saying is amazing. Like the feedback is just incredible. So you know what, if you want some more information, like I said, go to the links in the description below. As Rosemary said, she's available to you 24/7, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Just make sure you don't call her when she's at the coffee shop because they don't like her talking very loud there. But she's available to answer any of your questions. And remember, if you want to join for free, mention Bryce when you register. That way they'll know that you're friends of mine. But I would just encourage you, wherever you are, virtually, just start. You have to start somewhere. And if not now, don't say, maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe and my question back would be, if not now, then when? Right? There's no time like the present. There's no time to just drop in. And maybe this is your push. Maybe this is that gentle nudge where you can say, I'll give it a chance. I'll break through that isolation. I'll break through that barrier that's holding me back. And you know what? Maybe the next thing you know, you'll be in level 2, level 3. And then maybe by the time I decided to take it, you'll be the instructor. So, which would be so cool. But anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Morgan, thank you for what you do at Parkinsons Canada. We're going to put the Care Finder in there as well, where we can find different programs in your area if you're in Canada. And thank you, my viewers, my listeners. Thank you for, I don't know why you're taking this ride with me because I'm just here, just don't even know what I'm doing, but we're doing it. So thank you for following it. And if you haven't already, make sure you join Bryce's Inner Circle. That's where we go deeper. It's deeper than just the videos. We have, a monthly Zoom call. It's a private community where you can chat, where you can, get support, get some help. And who knows, maybe one of these days you'll find one of these characters in there. We'll bring in and do like a special Inner Circle thing as well. So anyway, thanks again, everybody. Have a good day, and I'll see you on the next podcast. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Parkinson's may be part of your life, but it doesn't get to define it. Thanks for listening to Living with Parkinsons, the good, the bad, and the reality. If this episode moved you, helped you, or reminded you you're not alone, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Want to go deeper? The Inner Circle is waiting. Monthly Zoom calls, 24/7 community, and a direct line to Bryce. You'll find the link in the show notes. Until next time, keep showing up and keep doing life today.